Huh? We started off with the right mood for hearing Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Everybody loudly Prabhu fast Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Gauranitai Jayo Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतेरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna. Okay, so I don't know what mercy we are going to get today. So I have three things to discuss. First, I seek blessings of my Prabhu and all the senior Vaishnavas here. Just by their mercy, that I'm actually sitting here and trying to glorify Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So three topics I thought we can discuss. First is the internal reasons, confidential reasons for appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Second, this is going to be from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Second part, I just reading this 2-3 days back and it was just amazing. From Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking initiation. And actually it's a very powerful, there's one chapter in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So I want to discuss that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu willing, and then go into a little bit of tattva about how we should try to reach there. So these are three topics I want to cover. So first we can read from, so we seem to have a lot of time. What is the time? I don't know. Okay, 8:30. Okay, so before we start, okay, we'll start and then we'll do 2 bhajans I'm wanting to do. Anybody wants to sing Gaurana Hoito? No? You can sing? Sing. That's appropriate for the first part of our discussion. So. हाँ 2 बीट वो मुझे कुछ पता नहीं वो बोल रहा है मुझे सिर्फ बीट ही बीट आता है बस
यदि गौर होइतो तावे की होइतो केमन धरिताम ते
यदि गौर न होइतो तावे की होइतो
यदि गौर
राधार महिमा प्रेम रस सीमा जगत जानत
राधा महिमा माधुरी प्रवेश चातुरी सा
मधुरा वृंदा विपिन माधुरी
चातुरी सा वरज युवती भावेर भक्ति शकति होई तो का
शकति है तो
रे गो न होई तो ताबे की होई तो के मन धरी ताम दे
न होय तो तबे की होय तो मन धरी ताम दे
गाओ गाओ पुनः गौरांगेर गुण सरल होइया
गाओ गाओ पुनः गौरांगेर गुण सरल
ये भाव सागरे मन दयाल न देखिए कजा
ये भाव सागरे मन दया न देखिए कजा
रे गो न होई तो ताबे की होई तो के मन धरी ताम दे
यदि गो न होय तो तबे की होय तो मन धरी ताम दे
गौरांग बोलिया नागेनु गलिया के मन धरी नु दे
गौरांग बलिया नागिनु गालिया के मने धरिनु दे
बासुरिया पाषाण दिया के मन गरिया छे
पाषाण दिया के मने गरिया छे
अरे गो न होई तो ताबे की होई तो के मन धरी ताम दे
गौर न होय तो
ताबे की होई तो के मन धरी ताम दे
Such an amazing song. I'm reading the translation. If Lord Gaura had not appeared as the Yuga Avatara in this age of Kali, what would have become of us? Nothing. Isn't it? That's what we feel. Nothing. Life wouldn't have changed. How could we have tolerated living? Who in this verse would have ever learned about the topmost limits of loving mellows that comprise the glory of Sri Radha? Topmost limits of loving mellows. This is a subject beyond me. So, from whatever Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is discussing in this Adi Leela 4th chapter, I will present to the extent of my realization. Who would have had the power to render ecstatic devotional service that follows in the footsteps of the damsels of Raja? What is this called? what is the other name? Raganuga Bhakti. Indeed, the clever expertise of the Vraja Gopis is a prerequisite for entering the supremely sweet forest of Vrinda Devi. We can enter Vrajadham. We can enter the village. We can't enter the forest of Vrinda Devi. To enter the forest of Vrinda Devi, we need to be in the mood of the clever expertise of the Vraja Gopis. Oh, please sing again and again of the glorious qualities of Lord Gauranga. Just try to keep your heart simple. Vaishnava Ke, if somebody has not read it, you should please read it. His Holiness Jayapadaka Maharaj has written a very beautiful commentary on that. Originally commented by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So this is a very, very important thing. Actually, in that, Maharaj also emphasizes this Kutinati. So the duplicity. Duplicity is not a quality of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava should be simple. What does simple mean? What is inside is outside. This is simple. To start with, if the mind is simple, then other things will become simple. Not even one person within this ocean of nescience has ever seen such a magnanimous personality as he. I was just enamored by this once. I had the opportunity to talk to my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, and he was saying that he has a desire. So I said, okay, what is the desire? He said, I want to see Gauranga once. I want to be part of his pastime. I thought, okay, it didn't appeal to me at that time. But then today I can understand what such an exalted desire it is to actually see Gauranga. Who else is more magnanimous than him? Even though I chant the holy name of Lord Gauranga, somehow, I still have not melted in ecstasy. This is the sad part. How then have I maintained the burden of this body? Even I don't know. How has the Creator fashioned this body with a stone in place of Vasudev Ghosh's heart? Vasudev Ghosh is singing, saying that why there is no heart here, there is a stone. So this stone has to melt. Stone has to melt. Our stone, our heart is steel framed, isn't it? Steel framed. Bhagavatam says, steel framed. If there is no tears rolling down one's eyes after chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we have to melt this heart. Actually, one simple thing, I don't want to go into all these topics because there's so many things to be spoken about. We have to try and do one thing. Some practical things that I try to apply in my life, I will keep commenting in the middle, is actually not to do things that harden our heart. Just note this. Because actually, unconsciously, we do so many things which is hardening our heart. Now, if we are constantly, it's like, we talk about morning, we are chanting Hare Krishna, we are putting ghee into the fire, and then the whole day, we are putting water, right? Now, that's one example to understand how we have to live. Now, the other way to understand is, by chanting Hare Krishna, the heart is actually getting softer. But what we are doing, we are actually doing things which is hardening the heart. So this hardening, softening, this is the second thing that we are doing in the day, which is just not allowing us to actually come to this stage of experiencing ecstasy. And what is that ecstasy? We will talk about that slightly. So I'm going to speak from different books today. Madhurya Kadambini, Shivram Maharaj's Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani, Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Bhajan Rahasya. So various things I'm going to pick from various of these books, and so that will be the last part of today's discussion. Is actually where we stand in bhakti and how do we get there? How do we get to this stage, right? Not that I have not got to that stage, but at least I have figured the path. At least it's clear in my mind what needs to be done. And I just want to share that realization, right? And it's very important actually. why we have to move away from mechanical chanting, right? It's a very, very important thing. Okay, so these are few things that we're going to discuss today. So first we're going to start with the confidential reasons. So we all know what are the external reason. So I'm going to have some interactive session, otherwise I'll be the only one awake. So just hoping that everybody is going to be awake. So what is the external reason for appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? To give Braja Bhakti. So that we understand. Now, that is the third chapter of Adi Leela. Now this is the most, and this is not available in the Vedas, right? What we're going to read now is not part of the Vedas. It's not given because it's the most confidential part of the Vedic knowledge. Confidential reasons for Lord's appearance. So I'm reading from verse 7. Okay. Purveyena prithivira bharahari bare Krishna avatirna hoila shastre re prachare. Now I'm going to just keep chanting the verses and discussing, okay, because we can't repeat. The scriptures proclaim that Lord Krishna previously descended to take away the burden of the earth. Swayam Bhagavanera karma nahe bhara bharana stiti karta Vishnu karena jagata palana. Swayam Bhagavanera karma nahi. It's not Swayam Bhagavan Krishna's karma. It's not his work. What? Bharaharana. This maintenance of this material world is not the karma. It's not the karma of Swayam Bhagavan. Sthiti karta Vishnu karena jagata palana. Who is the Sthiti karta? Vishnu. His work is jagat palan. It's not Krishna's work. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, yada yada hi dharmasya. He's cheating us. Kintu Krishnera ei hoy avatara kala, bhara harana kala tate hoila mishala. So what happened? That time to lift the burden of the world mixed with the time, meaning coincided with the time for Krishna's incarnation. Purna Bhagavana avatare kale arasabha avatara tante asimile. When the complete Purna Bhagavan, when the complete Supreme Person of Godhead descends, all other incarnations of Lord meet together within Him. Meet together. Can we understand this? All the other incarnations meet within Krishna. Narayana Chaturvyuha Matsyadi Avatara Yuga Manvantara Avatara Yate Achayara Sabe Asi Krishna Ange Hayavatirna Aiche Avatare Krishna Bhagavan Purna. Lord Narayana, the four primary expansions, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Matsya and the other Leela incarnations, the Yugavataras, the Manvantara Avataras, as many incarnations as there are, all descend in the body of Lord Krishna. In this way, Purna Bhagavan, complete Supreme Godhead, Lord Krishna Himself appears. Ataeva Vishnu Takhana Krishnera Sharire Vishnu Dware Kare Krishna Asura Samhare. So this we know, Vishnu is there in the body of Krishna and he takes care of all the Asura Samhara. But actually there's also a speciality about Krishna's Asura Samhara. When Krishna descends in other forms, as Vishnu's other avatars, Yuga avatars, etc. How does Vishnu kill demons? Shastra, Astra, right? He needs weapons, right? But in this, Krishna wants to even camouflage that with his sweetness. Isn't it? Vishnu is killing, but how is he killing? No Shastra. Krishna wants to present sweetness in everything in Vraja, right? This is actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes to this verse, his purport, Janma karma chate me divyam, evam yo veti tattvataha. What is this tattvataha? In truth. What is this truth? What is the truth? We've heard this verse so many times. What is the truth? As given by our acharyas in parampara is truth. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur actually goes one more step. And he says, actual tattvataha is to understand the sweetness of Krishna. To understand sweetness of Krishna is the actual tattvata. That is our parampara. Right? Our Gaudiya parampara is about sweetness, madhurya. That's another beautiful song. What is that? Madhuradipate Rakilam Madhuram. Madhuradipate Rakilam Madhuram. Yeah. He is the Adipati, supreme possessor of all Madhurya, sweetness. So Krishna manifests sweetness in everything that he does in Goloka. Anusanga karma ye asura marana ye lagi avatara kahi se mula karana. Thus the killing of demons is but secondary work. I shall now speak of the main reason for the Lord's incarnation. Okay, now starts the rasa of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So till now this is all very boring stuff. This is all very tattva stuff. Actually there are multiple types of tattva. We know that, right? Bhagavat tattva, Guru tattva. Now we are going to get into rasa tattva. Huh? What, Prabhu? Kirtan tattva. Okay, I don't know about that. I know rasa tattva. Prema rasa niryasa karite aswadana raga marga bhakti kloke karite pracharana rasika shekhara krishna parama karuna ei dui hetu hoite ichara udgama. Now Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying ichara udgama. Who's icha? But Krishna is apta kama, atma rama. What is atma rama? Self-satisfied. Apta kama, all desires. What is this? What is that definition of Krishna? That is why when we come to Gaudiya, when we come to this Vraja Bhakti, all the Samanya Tattva we should keep it aside. We can't understand Krishna otherwise. It is like that Hiranmayena Patrena for us. Bhagavad Tattva also becomes the impediment for us to understand Krishna, isn't it? So that is why in Vraja there is no Bhagavad Tattva, correct? Craziness. In all life we practice Krishna consciousness, saying Krishna is the supreme person, you got it. Then we say, no, he is not God. Who cares whether Krishna is God? So here, Ichara Udgama. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Krishna developed a desire. So Krishna is not Atma Rama. In Jaiva Dharma, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur calls him Parata Rama. Atma Rama, Parata Rama. Atma means within. Paratara means outside. So Krishna's happiness is only outside. With whom? With his devotees. So, which is why there is Ichara Udgama. So there is a desire which manifests. And E Dui Hetu, there are two reasons. He's saying, first one, Prema Rasa Niryasa Karite Aswadana. Prema Rasa, we understand. Niryasa means Sara, essence. Prema Rasa Niryasa Karite Aswadana. So he wanted to taste the Sara of Prema Rasa. Krishna wanted to taste the Sara of Prema Rasa. What is that? Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karita Pracharana. So what is that bhakti? That bhakti is called Ragatmika Bhakti. That bhakti is called Ragatmika Bhakti, which is practiced by the residents of Vrajadham. But how do others understand that Ragatmika Bhakti? Is through the path of Raganuga Bhakti. So in general, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is calling it Raga Marga. So Raga Atmika and Raga Anuga. So there are both of Raga Marga. So through this Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karite Pracharana. But when it comes to Loka Prachar, it has to be Raga Anuga with the understanding of Ragatmika. Otherwise, what we will do? Mental speculation. Right? So that is why sometimes we are very confused. We think we are sometimes, many times I used to get confused. Am I in the stage of Ruchi? We all have Ruchi, we are dancing up and down. How can we dance up and down if there is no Ruchi in Krishna consciousness? So that is, Ruchi is there in every stage of Bhakti. Ruchi is there in every stage of Bhakti, but it is not the stage of Ruchi. Ruchi is there in every stage of Bhakti, but it is not the stage of Ruchi. So this Raga Marga, Okay, so we're going to discuss a little bit on this point. It's a very, very important point to note. What bhakti are we practicing? Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. What is our goal? All of us chant every day in the morning. Krishna Prem. How are you going to get Krishna Prem? By following Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Okay, just hold on to that top thought. Krishna is going to now tell us where are we going to get. So we're going to discuss that, okay? Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karite Pracharana. Rasika Shekhara. Where is our Rasik Shekhar Prabhu? Rasika Shekhara. Krishna Parama Karuna. Rasika Shekhara. Krishna. Prabhupada translates Rasika Shekhara as supremely jubilant. Little bit camouflaged. Rasika Shekhara. He is the embodiment of all rasa. He is the enjoyer of all rasa. He is most jubilant because of that rasa. Rasika Shekhara Krishna Parama Karuna. Very, very merciful. He is very merciful. He is very merciful. But what does he tell in Bhagavad Gita? Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Who is doing Sarvadharman parityaja? Anybody here have done Sarvadharman parityaja? What does Sarvadharman parityaja mean? Giving up all dharma. Has anybody here given up all dharma? Krishna is Parama Karuna, but we can't follow his instructions. So, Yei Duyui Hetu. So, these were the two things. What is that? Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, and he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus, he is known as supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all, because he wants to distribute this Raga Marga. Aishwarya Jagnanete Saba Jagata Mishrita Aishwarya Shithila Preme Nahi Mora Prita. Full all other forms of bhakti gone in one statement. Who wants to go to Vaikuntha? Anybody here wants to go to Vaikuntha? No. Why? What is wrong, Prabhu? Why are you laughing? Krishna is saying, Aishwarya Gnanete Sabha Jagata Mishrita. With this jnana of Aishwarya of Krishna, what is the Aishwarya of Krishna? Purushottama Yoga. Bhagavad Gita is about Aishwarya Gnana. Actually, a little bit of rasa is there, but mostly it is Aishwarya Gnana. So Krishna is saying, Aishwarya Gnanete Sabha Jagata Mishrita. The whole world is mixed with this Aishwarya Gnana. Okay? It's okay. These topics are very, very exalted. We should just see one thing about spiritual knowledge, right? When we hear, this is called as incidental hearing. Okay? Incidental hearing meaning you have not picked up this chapter and you are not wanting to read. Okay? It's happening as part of a festival. Now, there will be many things which we might hear which is OHT for us, right? Which is above our pay grade, as they call. So what we should do is we should understand that it's there. We have to get there and we're not disappointed about it. Actually, see, when we look at things which are higher than us, what should it make us? Inspired, isn't it? Inspired. Otherwise, what is the point in living? What is the point? I mean, every day is the same thing. Every year passes by. There's nothing to look forward to. So what we're going to hear is things which we have to look forward to. Lot of very, very high standard stuff because we are way here, down here. Right? So we should not get disappointed. I know many devotees are in this Aishwarya Bhava. No problem. No problem. Just follow the process. Just follow the process. But this is what Krishna is saying, so we have to hear. Krishna also said so many things in Bhagavad Gita. We didn't want to hear initially, but slowly we are hearing. Na? So it's like this. So Krishna is saying the whole world is mixed with this Aishwarya Gnana. Aishwarya Shitila. Preme Nahi Mora Prita. Aishwarya Shitila. Shitila means what? Cold. Shitila actually means cold. Weakened. Prabhupada is translating this as weakened by Aishwarya. Krishna is actually saying this Preeti that you are showing on the platform of Aishwarya is cold. Is very weak. Nahi Mora Prita. It's not dear to me. Does not satisfy me. Krishna is saying this Aishwarya Gnanete, whatever bhakti we do on the platform of Aishwarya, doesn't please Krishna. So who accepts our worship on the Aishwarya platform? Lakshmi Narayana. No. There's one beautiful twist here, okay? We don't have to be disappointed. That is why I'm saying. There's a beautiful twist, it will come. आमाकेता ये भक्त भजे ये भावे तारे से भावे भजिए मोर स्वभावे. Which verse is this in Bhagavad Gita? ये यथा माम प्रपद्यन्ते ताम तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः. So Krishna is saying, in whatever mellow jiva serves me, I will reciprocate. So first he said Aishwarya Gnana is not dear to me. Now he is saying I will still reciprocate. I have other ways to reciprocate. Mora putra mora sakha mora pranapati ehi bhave hi more करे शुद्ध भक्ति आपना के बड़ा माने आमा. And specifically Gaudiya Parampara, what are we talking about? Madhurya Bhajana. What do we start in the morning? Where is Madhurya Bhajana? Saradava. Where is Madhurya Bhajana? So there are two verses which are describing the mood of Raja Gopis. Then next one, big, major, Tulsi Aarti. Full prayer is only this. Full prayer is only this. Now, after, if you actually understand the meaning of these songs, how will we think about anything else at all? You know, it's like, you can say we are getting brainwashed. Prabhupada has created a process that is going to brainwash us into Madhurya Bhava. Of course, still, Tattva remains that the Swarupa will be revealed at a later point in time. And Swarupa is not a matter of artificial speculation, or it's not happening on the mental platform, isn't it? When we think something, when we feeling, when we are, so most of our actions right now is on the mental platform, and Swarupa is revealed, it's on the spiritual platform. When is Swarupa revealed? Which phase of bhakti? Anybody knows? How many phases of bhakti are there? Ado, Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava. Bhava is when our Swarupa will get revealed. Till Bhava we have no idea. We can keep feeling. We'll have some feelings. Okay, where are these feelings coming from? What are the three activities of the mind? That's where it is coming from. Till that state. Till that state. See, but we have to understand that this keeps getting purified as we make progress. Because mind is completely material before we come into Krishna consciousness. Then slowly what happens? Mind starts getting spiritualized. To the extent we are getting spiritualized, to that extent, which means that we are also making progress. We are making progress. We will go past Anartha Nivritti. So I'm going to discuss a little bit of Anartha Nivritti. Right? Then we will go to Ruchi, Asakti, then we'll come to Bhava. By that time, mind is completely pure, completely spiritualized. So yesterday somewhere I was telling, devotee doesn't have death. Is it? I told somewhere that devotee doesn't have death. So does a devotee die? Huh? My Prabhu should not answer any of these questions. Or Raja Krishna Prabhu. What does a devotee die? Yes, no? No. Why? Don't tell me Atma. Atma is there in everybody, Baba. Okay? Atma is there in every jiva. So, Not that, right? Huh? They are living in the sound. Okay, I have not heard of that. Okay, so basically, so if devotees don't die, what is happening? Huh? No, everybody will take birth. No, somebody will take birth in a material form. Somebody will, but still, what about the process of dying? Yes, true. Cat and kitten. No, no. So is there death or no death? Okay, cat, kitten, all that is fine. Is there death or no death? That is just the feeling of death, right? We are not afraid of death. That's what that example is saying. But my question is very straightforward. Is there death or no death? Okay, one pastime from Srimad Bhagavatam which answers this question. Which one? Ah, Dhruv Maharaj. What does Dhruv Maharaj do? He steps on death. He makes death the stepping stone to enter into the plane. So devotee doesn't have death. Then what is happening? What is happening then? We see devotees so-called dying. Okay, why doesn't a devotee die? Why doesn't a devotee die? Devotee doesn't have a material body to give up. A devotee doesn't have a material body to give up. So we are talking about pure devotion, right? The person who reaches perfection in pure devotional service, he doesn't have a material body to give up. His whole body is spiritualized. So what is death for a spiritual body? Then what happens? Why are we saying great devotees? Of course, great devotees we do samadhi, right? No, even they don't have to be so exalted, like great Maharaj in our movement, etc. Even exalted. There are so many exalted devotees which nobody knows. There because this internal state of a devotee, it's not for publicity. So devotee, if a devotee simply follows the process given, right, he or she will achieve this stage, and at that stage, the devotee's body is completely spiritual. So this is actually Krishna. Krishna is doing this. Basically, Yoga Maya. What is happening is that there is a semblance of death. There is something like that is happening. See, otherwise, just imagine all of us. Aeroplanes keep coming, and we keep getting onto aeroplanes and going. There will be like long line here. Rakal Prabhu will not be able to manage the rush. People will say, अरे ये यहाँ तो एक टाइम है 8:30 का फ्लाइट आ रहा है चलो सब we'll all go and stand in the line. So Krishna doesn't want to make his bhakti so cheap. So this is not revealed to the outside world. People can't understand that bhakti is deathless. A devotee is deathless. Right? But actually if we practice bhakti, we become deathless. So which means that we just step over. I mean, we just dropping. Another example is Narada Muni, right, in his life. He says thunder and lightning. Basically just the so-called external covering which is there of the gross body is just left. It's not gross. It's gross to our gross vision. Right? And they leave that body just to make it look like a normal death. That's all. All this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments. So I'm just giving references so that don't have to feel Narayana Prabhu is like creating some new tattva. No, I'm not creating anything. Okay, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur talks about this in Ajamila. So you have to read this, somebody who's gone through 5 cantos, 6th canto, please read, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on this Ajamila pastime. It's just literally out of the world. It's literally out of the world. It will give us the actual tattva of Nama, actual Nama tattva. So basically, it is the occasional. It's called occasional pastime. Occasional pastime is what we see, anything which is nothing, sakhas, gopis, which means mainly to do with asuras, is all occasional pastimes. Right? Now we have to hear both. So I'm going to tell you something also. We should directly not enter into the eternal pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Eternal pastimes are otherwise called Astakaliya Leela. Okay, to enter into Astakaliya Leela, there is adhikar that is required. So the adhikar, again, brilliant, brilliance of Srila Prabhupada. It's just really many of these things when we realize we can't understand what Srila Prabhupada has done. What did Prabhupada say is the easiest way to go back to Godhead? He said, read Krishna book every day. Why? It's so beautiful. Occasional pastimes destroy our anarthas. Please hear this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Krishna Samhita, he talks about how all these asuras are different anarthas in us. Okay? When we hear the occasional pastimes of Krishna, the anarthas are destroyed. This is another very powerful way to get over anarthas, is to read Krishna book every day. And as we read these occasional pastimes again and again and again, we get qualification to come into the eternal pastimes. That is why after so many chapters, there is discussion about Raslila. That also very, very secretive. I mean, Shukadeva Goswami didn't give out anything. Literally didn't give out anything. Right? He's just given us overview of what Raslila is. Literally. Right? Because actually, for us conditioned souls, we don't have the qualification to enter into it. Right? This is what we were reading today morning in Nama, Glories of the Holy Name. Right? Prabhu was reading. What was Prabhu reading? He said that we have to actually enter into the Shastra given by previous Goswamis and Acharyas. Prabhupada is saying that. Isn't it? Prabhupada is saying that we have to enter into those books. But we can't enter into those books unless we have to. So there's a tattva here which I'm stating. We can discuss later if time permits. Unless somebody is in the stage of Nishtha, one should not enter into meditation of Astakaliya Leela. Okay, I'm just stating this because nowadays all books are available. I did this. When I used to coax Rakal Prabhu saying, Prabhu, please get this book, get that book, get this book. And he used to be merciful, he used to get those books. And I have all those books at home. Then when I used to open one page, one word, I said, not qualified, close. One word, not qualified, close. One word, not. Then I realized saying that when am I going to get the qualification to read all this? Then I was reading this Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani. Amazing work, really. I mean, it's just literally out of the world. Even His Grace Radhesham Prabhu has given series of seminars on the Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani. Anybody interested can hear. But nothing like reading the book. It's all bouncer, total helmet, pura, do helmet pehen ke we have to hear that. It's like that, literally bouncers. Right? And in that Maharaj is saying that till one comes to Nishtha, right, or more than even Krishna Leela, he says that actually at least 75% of anarthas have to be gone. And eternal pastimes, unless somebody has entered Nishtha, we should not enter into these eternal pastimes. So you might have the books, but be careful because there's a concept of adhikara. If we transgress adhikara, we will fall. If we transgress adhikara, we will fall. Okay, anyway, these are. So Krishna is saying here, mother binds me thinking I'm utterly helpless. Then Sakha Shuddha Sakhe Kare Skande Arohana Tumi Kona Bada Loka Tumi Amisama. My friends climb on my shoulders in pure friendship, saying, what kind of a big man are you? You and I are equal. This is what Krishna wants. Is it getting boring? It's boring. If it is too much, I'll switch to the next topic. Or like, you're all like, we just started. No, Haribol, it's awake, not awake. Check. 9:12. Is it okay? Too much? No, if it is too much, we can reduce. We can go to the next topic. That is why. Is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's initiation. That's also a very high topic. That's also a very nice topic. Okay, we'll quickly finish this then. If my beloved consort reproaches me in a sulky mood that steals my mind from the reverent hymns of the Vedas. So why we have to read these verses is just to understand how exalted this path of Raganuga Bhakti is. Okay. Now one question will come into everybody's mind. We are all practicing Vaidhi Bhakti. How do we get to this Raganuga stage? It's required to get to Raganuga, right? Is that clear? It's clear? Right, that we have to get to Raganuga. Because if we don't get to Raganuga, then we will not get into Vraja Bhakti. So now how do we move from Vaidi to Raganuga. By serving Ragatmika Bhaktas, okay? It's not so exalted. I mean, as in, we are not in the stage to be able to worship Ragatmika Bhaktas. Actually, worshipping Ragatmika Bhaktas is the beginning of Raganuga. Yes, Prabhu. Okay. Okay. No, we don't have to put 30 years there, right? This is one thing which is very, very important. See, we have to understand that it could be 2 years, it could be 30 years. It depends on us, right? Because we don't know what is our, where from we have come, right? What stage we are starting bhakti. See, one thing we have to note, Shastra clearly says why the bhakti is going to take us to Vaikuntha. It's a very, very clear instruction. Once again, I want to just complete, right? So Vaidhi Bhakti will take us to Vaikuntha. But the Vaidhi Bhakti we are doing is not going to take us to Vaikuntha. This is the secret. This is the secret. Yes, Prabhu. Ah.
One day only will reveal the Sarupa.
Yeah.
We don't have to go into the external practice of Raganunga Bhakti. Many ISKCON devotees have been misled by thinking about this Raganunga Bhakti.
Yeah.
So what we have to do, we just honestly serve a spiritual master, come to the platform of Nishtha, come read Shrimad Bhagavatam, Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat, Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Soke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtaki.
Yeah.
And as we keep reading Shrimad Bhagavatam deeply, the 10th canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita will reveal everything. In Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani, the story of Alex is there, which Shivram Maharaj recites. So in that, Maharaj very clearly mentioned how this Alex, coming from a new background, took 20-30 years to come to the stage of Raganunga Bhakti. How he was very respectful for these topics of Raganunga Bhakti,
Yeah.
how he went. The first 10 years, he joined the ashram. In 2 years of time, he joined the ashram. Then after 10 years, he was thinking to change the ashram. Then he decided to talk with the spiritual master and went ahead. And then crossing the stage of Anand Nivritti. And then he was learning Shrimad Bhagavatam and thing. And then again, then first it became humble. Tanadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishna manina mandena kirtanya sadahari. Then another 10-15 years he was being guided properly, nicely. And then he became a sannyasi. And then afterwards, by mercy of Guru, the Sarupa was revealed to him, which happened after 25-30 years for a normal devotee who is coming to ISKCON. Now somebody coming from a past life could be a very special soul, which we generally do not find coming here.
Okay. So, so basically, see, the point I wanted to make is Vaidhi Bhakti we are doing, so we don't have to get discouraged. Prabhupada is actually given as a perfect process. So we don't have to search anywhere outside ISKCON. That's the point. There are so many books, there are so many, many devotees keep coming and telling me, apparently there are some devotees who left ISKCON and went to Gaudiya Math. We don't have to do all that nonsense. That's just incomplete understanding of what Prabhupada has given. Prabhupada has given us a process. If we simply follow this process, so when Vaidhi Bhakti is targeted towards Krishna and Radha, with the mood of, wanting to serve them, hearing, their sweetness, etc. Just when this mood is heard, when we keep hearing this mood again and again, that is why when we read Shastra, when we read, every day, we are trying to understand that, Krishna is about sweetness. And when this concept that sweetness enters our heart, and we do Vaidhi Bhakti, we will achieve Raganuga. So we don't have to do anything else, right? That's the point. But the transition has to happen like Rajakrishna Prabhu was saying. It cannot be whimsical, right? It has to be under able guidance, and it has to be discussed with the spiritual master. It has to be discussed with the spiritual master. It's not a very cheap topic, right? So Chaitanya Charitamrita that is why Prabhupada called it PhD, right? We can't enter into, and today we'll be so fortunate, Sarvabhauma Prabhu is going to talk about Antya Leela, which is just to total, we'll be like, underground. We can't understand what's going on. But we should understand that these things should not be imitated. These things should not be imitated. We have to simply follow the instructions. And if we simply follow the instructions, we'll get past this, right? And there's a lot of stuff here, which I think I'm taking a hint from Rajakrishna Prabhu. It looks like a slightly high topic to be discussed. So I'm going to switch to the second topic, okay? So, but just to understand here that these things are important to understand. It is given in the 4th chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are not reading some very high level esoteric, book given by our acharyas. This is bread and butter stuff that all of us have to understand because we are part of this Gaudiya Parampara. Of course, before that we should have read Bhagavad Gita and all the small books of Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita, then Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, at least the basic initial chapters. And then we read Chaitanya Charitamrita. First time we read, it's completely OHT, right? We don't understand anything. So, second, third time when we are reading these topics, we can understand. And this is important to understand because without understanding this, we don't know where we are heading, right? And see, this thing about, yes, the process will give the result, but we also need to know where we are heading. That is important, right? And these chapters actually reveal, these topics which are important for us to know. So we have to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually came to give us this. Now, otherwise, why would we sing this? We just sang that, Jadi Gaur na hoito, tabe ki hoi. What is the meaning of that song? He is to say that otherwise we wouldn't have got access to this exalted sweetness of Madhurya Prema. Unatojjvala rasa. Right? So, this is our goal. This is our goal. Right? We have to understand that. When we say Krishna Prema, actually it is Krishna Prema in Madhurya. This is our goal. This is what our acharyas have come here to give. This is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. Right? And this we should keep in mind, but we should not artificially imitate. We should not artificially try to suddenly feel like, Prabhupada was so angry with the Gopi Bhav club. So we have to be careful. That is why actually many devotees think saying that why Prabhupada has not given a lot of rasa in his books. Because we are not qualified for it. We are not qualified for it. He is building our qualification. And the qualification is bread and butter stuff. Right? Bhagavad Gita. You are not the body, you are spirit, soul. Right? We start there and then slowly we will get to these topics. Okay? So, we will put aside Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now we're going to go to Chaitanya Bhagavat. Now, this important part when I was reading this chapter was the power of initiation. So, that's what hit me. And I thought it's a nice thing to discuss. So, I'm going to just discuss this first chapter of Chaitanya Bhagavat. This is, I got the wrong book. Anybody has Chaitanya Bhagavat? Madhyama? All, okay. Jai. Krishna Prabhu to my rescue. Madhyama first one. No, this one. Here. Yeah, here. See, I think it's the first chapter, if I'm not wrong. No, post initiation. Yeah, post initiation. Let me just, I think this is the chapter. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just reading from Madhya Kanda of Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapter 1. Okay, this is just after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took initiation. So he took initiation in Gaya. Then he came back. Right? He had gone there for doing rites of his father. And then he takes initiation from Sri Ishwara Puri and then he comes back. And when I was reading this, it just reflected, I was just reflecting on the power of initiation. And I want to talk about just this topic, reading from here and just reflecting on what actually initiation needs to do and our basic topics about Anartha Nivritti and few things I want to cover, right? Um, so I'm going to read a few verses because this doesn't have the verses. I'm going to just read the translations. Glory, glory, glory to Lord Chaitanya, the king of the Brahmanas and the maintainer of the worlds. Glory to the Vaishnavas who are very dear to Lord Chaitanya. Glory to Lord Chaitanya, the saintly protector of true religion. Glory to Lord Chaitanya, whose handsome form is wrapped in the activities of Sankirtan. Glory to He who is the friend, wealth and life of Nityananda. Glory to He who is the abode of spiritual love for Advaita and Gadadhara. Glory to He who is very affectionate to Jagadananda. Glory to He who is the heart of alongside Him and others behind. Alongside Him and others behind. Scholars. Right now, scholars. Right now, post-initiation, lights, Goddess Shitala, be merciful to you. Gazing at her son, joyful and fortunate Sachi was not aware of anything but him. Bliss arose among Goddess Lakshmi's kinsmen. Gazing at her husband's face, Lakshmi felt her sufferings run far away. All the Vaishnavas were very happy. At that moment, they all came to see the Lord. The Lord humbly spoke with everyone. Then, taking their permission, he retired to his own room. Taking with him 2 or 4 Vaishnavas, there he sat down to talk confidentially. So, the confidential topics of Radha and Krishna are not for public discussion. The tattva behind that rasa is for public discussion, but not the rasa itself. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never discussed it. He didn't discuss it even with his so exalted devotees. Who were the only 2 people whom we discussed the confidential pastimes? Only 2 of them, Swarup Damodar and she's for personal sadhana, personal meditation. Right? And what we should hear is the tattva behind this rasa. To even understand how to understand. When we hear rasa tattva, we understand how to understand the rasa. When we are hearing pastimes, otherwise normally we get into this mood of enjoyment, isn't it? What do we ask? We ask after the class, did you enjoy the class? Who are we to enjoy the class? We are not here to enjoy. We are here to understand, we are here to purify. And if Krishna is pleased, there will be bliss in our heart. Right? So we are not here to enjoy anything. And so we should understand that these topics are not for public discussion. So he went into a room to talk confidentially. The Lord said, "Oh my friends, please listen to what I say. I saw many wonders of Lord Krishna." Now, he is revealing his personal experience, but not with all. "When I first entered Gaya, I at once heard something auspicious. Thousands and thousands of Brahmanas were chanting us. Then someone said to me, look at this place made sacred by the water that washed Lord Vishnu's feet. In ancient times, Lord Krishna came to Gaya. Stopping in this place, he washed his feet. Touching the water from the Lord's feet, the Ganga has become glorious. Shiva holds the water on his head. He knows the spiritual truth about the water from the Lord's feet. This place is holy by the power of the water that washed the Lord's feet. That is why this place is known as Padodaka Tirtha." When he spoke the name of the place sacred because of the Lord's lotus feet, Lord Chaitanya shed incessant tears from his lotus eyes. There is nothing major rasa here. There is no Radha and Krishna here. See, this is the mood of love for Krishna. When he is simply hearing about the mercy of the Lord's lotus feet, there are incessant tears. What is incessant? It doesn't stop. The mood of surrender. Of course, because that's a very later stage, right? Because he could treat us as depends on how we want, right? He could be a friend, a parent, etc., right? See, this one is saying that when the mood in which we surrender, actually we should have transcended the material platform. We should have entered the spiritual platform, transcendental platform. What is transcendental platform? Brahma Bhuta. Actually, the mood of devotion, the mood of initiation is to actually who needs to get initiated? For whom is initiation required? Conditioned soul, yeah. Anyone serious? Anyone serious? Serious about what? What is the goal of our life? One must be the only goal in our life. When that is the only goal in our life, now obviously the devotee will think, how do I get there? And the answer to that question is holding on to the lotus feet of the spiritual master. This has to be the mode of initiation, that when we actually fall at the lotus feet of spiritual master, Bhakta kare Atma Samarpan. We've given everything to the lotus feet of Guru, which means that from then on, what do we lose? We lose one thing and we gain everything else. What do we lose on the day of initiation? Okay, let's hear now. What we lose? Anxiety. Independence. This is the most important thing. We lose independence. We don't lose intelligence. We lose independence, we don't lose intelligence. We lose independence, meaning there is no more use of free will. This is initiation. Right? When we are ready to give up our free will, when we are ready to just yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, when we are ready to take the instructions of spiritual masters as everything in our life, we are ready for initiation. And somebody who takes initiation like this very quickly makes progress. Very quickly makes progress, because the lotus feet of the spiritual master is everything. Right? And when we hold on to the lotus feet, holding on to the lotus feet doesn't mean that, on one end I'm washing the lotus feet of my guru, and then on the other end I'm doing whatever I want. Isn't it? So washing the lotus feet of the Lord, what is Chaitanya Charitamrita says? 3 things that are most important for us in our bhakti. What are those? Yeah, all of you know, right? The dust of the lotus feet. What is the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava? Go find his chappal. Before he leaves his chappal, grab hold of his legs. It is the mood of surrender. Taking the lotus feet on the head means surrendering to the devotee. Right? So when we accept initiation, we have to surrender to our Guru. And if we don't have the mood of surrender, then that initiation will just be external. It's just external. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't take that initiation in that mood. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not even require initiation. But he took in that mood of complete surrender. And he's just saying, okay, whatever my Guru says, I'm doing. That's it. And then he goes back and then he goes and tells his Guru saying that, what is happening? I've gone mad. I've gone mad. Unmatta. Krishna consciousness is supposed to make us mad. This is the topmost platform of bhakti when we go crazy. This we are going to hear today. Sarvabhauma Prabhu is possibly going to talk about Antya Leela, and Antya Leela is just literally crazy. We just can't understand. Here also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is displaying some of these characteristics. Struck with wonder, everyone thought in his heart, I have never seen anything like this. Lord Krishna must be very merciful to me, that these ecstatic symptoms now walk on the path of my eyes. After some moments, the Lord returned to external consciousness. At the end, he spoke to everyone. The Lord said, my friends, now please return to your homes. I wish that tomorrow you will all return. Then in a secluded place, I will describe to you my unhappiness. Tomorrow, hurry to Shuklambar Brahmachari's house and bring Sadashiv with you. Speaking gracefully, everyone took their leave. Lord Chaitanya stayed in his room. Now, Lord Chaitanya always thought of Krishna. Now. Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, now, Lord Chaitanya always thought of Krishna. Now means what? Now that he's been initiated, he's come back from Gaya, he's only always thinking about Krishna. Mostly he was in the mood of separation from Krishna. Mother Sachi had no power to understand her son's activities. Still, whenever she saw her son, she was very happy. Mother Sachi looked at her son. He called out, Krishna, Krishna, and wept. Cry. Krishna, Krishna, and wept. The house was flooded with tears. We have water problem? We have water problem. We don't have, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't have water problem. House was flooded with tears. See, this is the mood. This is the mood that our acharyas taught us. next verse is saying, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? This is the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's saying, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Overcome with love, the Lord called out these words again and again. Mother Sachi did not know why her son had changed. With folded hands, she took shelter of Lord Krishna. Now Lord Chaitanya was beginning to reveal his true nature. Now the limitless universes became joyful. So when there is manifestation of Krishna Prema, initial indication in Bhava, Sandrananda Visheshatma. So actually it is the highest platform of bliss, concentrated bliss. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says, concentrated bliss. That is what one experiences when these feelings arise in one's heart. Hearing the words, Lord Chaitanya has begun to shower the nectar of love for Krishna. See, this is the result of chanting Hare Krishna. This has to be the result of chanting Hare Krishna. The Vaishnavas came to see the Lord. The Lord said to them, tomorrow please gather at Shuklambar's house. Then I will sit down in a secluded place and tell you of my sufferings. Seeing Lord Chaitanya's wonderful love for Krishna, Sriman Pandit became filled with joy. The next morning at dawn, the devotees got dressed and happily went to pick flowers. At Shiva's home, there was a jasmine vine that was actually a kalpa lata. Vine descended to this world. The Vaishnavas had no power to empty it of flowers. It always had the same number of flowers at every moment. At dawn, the Vaishnavas would meet there to pick flowers. Thus Gadadhara, Gopinath, Ramai and Srivas picked flowers and talked about Krishna. That morning, Sriman Pandit also came there. He was smiling and smiling. They all said to him, we see that you have many smiles today. Sriman Pandit replied, they do indeed have a cause. Tell us, the devotee said. Sriman Pandit said, please hear what the cause is. What is it? Okay, wonderful, impossible news. Nimai Pandit has become a great Vaishnava. Hearing that he had safely returned from Gaya, I went in the evening to speak with him. All his words were about renunciation of the world. He did not display even half a sesame seed of pride or arrogance. So I think because he was displaying, a little bit pride and arrogance before. In a secluded place, he talked about the wonders he had seen in that whole holy place. And he also talked about Lord Krishna. When he heard the name of the holy place of the Lord's lotus footprints, he filled that place with tears from his eyes. When he said the words, oh Krishna, his every limb trembled, the hairs on them stood erect, and he fell to the ground. No sign of life was present in any limb. He was completely unconscious. Then after some moments, he regained external vision. It was a great wonder. Once, I don't know who quoted this, Krupmai Prabhu would know, saying that there should be a special service at the time of our kirtan. What is that service? Some devotees need to be having, what is that? To remove water, what do we use that? Mop or wiper. There should be somebody doing this service of removing all the tears that are flowing during kirtan. Who said this, Prabhu? I've read this, I can't remember. Meaning, see, the result of kirtan has to be ecstatic joy. It has to be ecstatic joy. And that will happen only when we forget ourselves and just, merge ourselves in the holy name. And this is what it is. When we are just taking the names of Krishna, we should literally be crying. It was a great wonder. At the end, he called out Krishna and wept. I think his tears were like Goddess Ganga flowing in that place. The devotion that with my own eyes I saw him manifest was not like the devotion any human being has. When he regained external consciousness, he told everyone, tomorrow you should all come to Shuklambar's house. Bring Sadashiva and Murari Pandit and I will tell you of my sufferings. Thus I have told you the very auspicious news that is the cause of my happiness. Okay, so we have 15 minutes. I'm going further a little bit. So they all meet Lord Chaitanya and they're conversing very happily. The Lord did not manifest external vision. The moment he saw the Vaishnavas, Lord Chaitanya recited this verse describing the nature of devotional service. I found my Lord, but then he disappeared. In what direction did he go? Speaking these words, the Lord became paralyzed and fell down onto one of the pillars of the house. Embracing the pillar, the Lord said, "Where is Krishna?" And threw his disheveled hair to the ground. The Lord said, "Oh Krishna." All the devotees also fell down. They were overcome with ecstatic love. Hiding in the house, Gadadhar suddenly fell unconscious. No longer did he know who he was, where he was, or what was the difference between himself and others. Everyone fell unconscious, overwhelmed by the bliss of pure love of Lord Krishna. Very surprised, Goddess Ganga smiled and laughed. After some moments, Lord Chaitanya manifested external consciousness. Calling out Krishna, he wept again and again. "Oh Krishna, oh my Lord, in what direction did you go?" Again and again saying these words, he fell to the ground. Overcome with love for Lord Krishna, Sachi's son wept, and the devotees around him in 4 directions also wept. Even falling violently to the ground many times, the Lord's graceful limbs showed no sign of being hurt. Overcome with love for the Lord, who is actually his own self, Lord Chaitanya was not even slightly aware of external events. Okay, so this goes deep, so I'm not going to go further into this. Right? It just shows the mood of devotion, right? And then when I was hearing this, when I was reading this, then I was thinking, what stage am I chanting? How is our chanting today? We all did chanting in the morning. How was our chanting? We are crying in bliss. Huh? Sleeping. We are feeling pain here, pain there. Huh? You can add some more comedy. I can't do comedy. Bro, mercy. We need that mercy also. Not for announcing in the mic. My Prabhu, some statements, huh? Confidential devotees, okay. Only for confidential devotees. So we are actually chanting Hare Krishna, which is supposed to actually take us to this standard, to this stage, where literally there should be tears flowing from our eyes. And here we are chanting, and then we are dozing off, and we're not even hearing the Nama. What are we supposed to do while chanting? We're supposed to do 2 things, right? One is pronounce the names very clearly and hear. Now, I want to just speak about this for the next 5 minutes. Why should we hear? Why do you ask such fundamental questions? Why should we hear? To revive our original Krishna consciousness, okay? Huh? Purification of heart. Sound has to go to the heart. Sound has to go to the heart. Where is the heart? Where is our heart? Huh? No, just saying. So it's not the physical heart, right? What is this other heart we are talking about? Huh? No, I don't understand all this. I'll only say what Bhagavatam has said. Where is the seat of the mind? Heart. Seat of the mind is the heart. Okay, technically for us actually is mind, heart are similar. Same actually, because what is the mind? 3 functions of the mind. So we think feeling is coming from the heart. It's actually coming from the mind, right? So which means that we have to hear. We have to hear. Why? Because Krishna said twice in Bhagavad Gita. Man, mana. Man, mana, bhava mad bhakto. So to actually become Krishna's devotee, we have to offer our mind to Krishna. So this Shravanam process, the process of Shravan is to actually go and cleanse that heart, that mind which is contaminated by all our vasanas, anarthas, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. No, unless this gets cleared, Krishna is not going to reside in our heart. We can't talk about premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena. So if we have to clear our heart, the process is to hear. So which is why two processes of hearing is, are recommended for at least most of us. What is the most powerful process of bhakti, of the angas of bhakti? In that, specifically, Nama Sankirtan. Right? Nama Sankirtan is the most powerful process. Now, why are we reading Srimad Bhagavatam? Why are we reading Bhagavad Gita and all this? To give us this understanding. What about somebody who can't listen, who can't hear, who can't do anything? What should he do? Simply chant. Simply chant. See, the chanting process is complete by itself. Our problem is we are not in the platform to utilize that completeness of this chanting. And hence, we need ancillary Shravanam which will help us purify faster. Because just the process of chanting, we are not hearing when we are chanting. If we simply hear when we are chanting, we can actually become purified. And then Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Right? Everything gets revealed from within the heart for the devotee. Right? But because we are not actually hearing during chanting, we have to hear during Srimad Bhagavatam class. But what do we do during Srimad Bhagavatam class? We sleep. When are we going to hear? Is there any other time? Huh? What? Mahaprasade Govinda. Thankfully, we are at least awake. We are awake while we are eating prasadam. No, but this is very, very important actually. See, that is why this Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya is important, right? So we have to just be very, very, we have to be alert. We have to do Shravanam. We have to hear. And if we are not in the mood of hearing, we should hear along with devotees who have the mood to hear. And Srimad Bhagavatam initially only says this, right? What is that? By what? No, what is that? Shushusho Saddhadanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi San Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. Right? So, if you are not having taste for hearing, we have to serve the Vaishnavas. You have to serve the Vaishnavas. Right? Because see, without this Shravanam, we can't imagine to make progress. We can't simply imagine to make progress. Right? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us such an easy process. It's the most easiest process. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed the order of what was stated in Kalisantarana Upanishad. Why? You know why? That was a Vedic mantra. Most of us would not have been qualified to chant that. So he reversed it. She is simply out and out come to give us mercy. That's all Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's work is, just take it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, oh, no, when I came as Krishna, I said, Sarvadharman Parijya, these guys are not going to surrender. Let me give them something which they can directly accept. No qualification required. No qualification required. So we got Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Did we have any qualification when we received the mantra? We don't have qualification to chant even now. But the mantra is so powerful because it is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why before chanting, we have to very, very prayerfully chant the Panchatattva mantra. What does Panchatattva mantra do by chanting prayerfully? Remove the offenses. We are doing so many nama aparadas. What is the one common thing that we all do? Inattentive chanting. Right? So how can we achieve Krishna Prema? Just by the mercy of Panchatattva, just by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that just by holding on to the lotus feet of Guru, we can actually get this which we are not qualified at all to get. But Panchatattva mantra, at least we should chant with that mood of begging. How many of us beg while chanting? Can somebody sleep while begging? We can't sleep while begging, right? Can we go to somebody's, knock on their doors? We can't do that. Isn't it? Chanting is begging process. Chanting is a begging process. See, if we don't beg, we're not going to get. Mother has many children. They want something. Whom will the mother give attention to? The one who is really crying top of its voice. Isn't it? So this begging process, that is why this, the process that is being given by our acharyas, by Prabhupada, actually if you go and dissect it, you will see that it's the most perfect process. And all of you are all so fortunate. You are here for Mangalarti every day. Most of the days I see many boys coming and so many Matajis also come. It's the most perfect process. It's the perfect process. It has to be simply followed. Why is it said that we have to chant in the association of other devotees? Somebody will wake us up. Literally. Somebody has to wake us up. Somebody will wake us up. Right? See, because otherwise this process we can go on chanting for years. We will never develop Krishna Prema. But that Krishna Prema can happen like this. If we simply surrender to this chanting process. See, please understand, the perfection of this chanting is the mind absorption. Is the absorption of the mind is the perfection of this chanting. Initially, we are just told saying that chant properly so that, at least we are pronouncing the names properly. One work we are doing of the jiva, we are at least pronouncing properly. We are not eating up the names. Right? In the first stage, we are saying, we are told to hear. We are told to hear. This is the first stage of absorption of the mind. This is the first stage of absorption. This is not the end. This is not the end of the absorption. What did Prabhupada say? What is the next stage of absorption? So this chanting is about absorption. If we are not absorbed in chanting, we will never get to experience any of this. And of course, first question is, how many of us really want to experience this? How many of us want to experience Krishna Prema in this life? Right? So, see, the point is, we are all hankering for it. Right? We are all hankering for it. And the most powerful process has been given to us. Most powerful process. But we have to beg. If we don't beg, what is the begging process? What did Prabhupada say? What should we beg for? Service. Service. What is this service? Pure devotees are also praying for the same thing. We are also praying for the same thing. What are they begging for? What are we begging for? We are at least begging, physically let me get some service. As in, naito I'll get spaced out. Right? Otherwise I'll be in my own world. At least if I get some service, then I have opportunity to engage my mind. But actually, what are they praying for? Service to Radha and Krishna in Prema. Right? That is what we are praying for. And that's not something which is cheap. It's not going to come by cheaply. Right? And so we have to beg. When we beg, the whole process is of absorption, is of prayer. Right? So we do Shravanam. So we first hear through our ears. And then what has to happen? What is the next stage? Prabhupada said. What should come? What Smaranam should come? Before that? Nam Shravanam we are doing. Then Roop. First is Rupa. Rupa has to come. This process is about coming. This process is not about taking. Spurati. So it has to come. So the absorption has to be so much that the form of the Lord comes. Now, which form of the Lord will come in our absorption? Whatever form we are seeing. Prabhupada so clearly said, saying that the whole process of deity worship is so that we can, we can give nectar to our eyes. The beautiful form of the Lord. And when we chant Krishna, automatically that form of the Lord should come in our mind. This absorption, but this is, how is this going to happen if we are just, looking here and there? We are seeing outside, okay, is there, somebody open the curtain? We are seeing this way, that way. We are not going to get absorbed. We are not going to get absorbed. Right? And once the stage of Rupa, the mind is engrossed in the form of the beautiful form of the Lord. Of course, there are various processes for this. I'm not going to get into this. Right? What will happen subsequently? What has to come? Guna. How will Guna come? Only by Shravanam. Only if you have heard Krishna's qualities, can we remember Krishna's qualities. Where can we read Krishna's qualities? Huh? Srila Prabhupada's books. Everywhere Krishna is being described by Srila Prabhupada. The pure devotee is describing Krishna. So if we are sincerely reading Srila Prabhupada's books, we will automatically understand. Of course, then specifically we come to 10th canto. We understand more of his qualities. Then we read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's very, very important book. Very, very important. Most of us, we don't digest, first 19 chapters only. We are like, actual real Rasamrita will start only after that. Right? So we have to read about the qualities of Krishna. See, one of the very important things for Smaranam, which I think most of you devotees do, is reciting verses. Right? Is a way to absorb the mind. Right? Remembering qualities of Krishna. Bhumi speaks about 40 qualities of Krishna. We should try to memorize. So all these results in that natural absorption in the qualities of Krishna. And then eventually it should come to the pastimes of Krishna. Prabhupada is saying, somebody said it's like a hyperlink. You also software people, hyperlink, right? As soon as the name of Krishna comes, immediately Rupa, Guna, Leela. See, this is the absorption. I'm not at that stage, but I'm realizing that I've been wasting my time doing useless chanting all these years. Right? And it's just the realization has dawned on me after I read this Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani. Saying that really, this is the most important part of the day. We've heard this, but I didn't understand how or what. I just thought, okay, I'm going to keep chanting like this, Hare Krishna, and I'll try to hear. Sometimes I'll hear, sometimes I don't hear. How will Krishna Prema come? Then I realized it's all about the absorption of the mind. Right? So the only request I have is to really deeply enter into your chanting. And the only way we can make this progress is by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Right? And by the special mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva. So when we are chanting that Panchatattva mantra, really, we have to really fall at their feet saying that I'm doing so many Nama Prada. If you are chanting in Nama Prada, we understand, right? There's no question of Prema. Not even Nama Bhas. We have to come to Shuddha Nama. Right? And if you have to come to Shuddha Nama, it is only by the mercy. It is only by mercy. Right? So please remember to beg. Please remember to beg. If you're not going to beg, we are not going to get it. And the first stage of begging is what? To be able to hear the Nama. Is the first stage of begging. When we are able to hear the Nama consistently, then we can go to the next stage. Right? When we are constantly hearing the Nama continuously for 16 rounds, we don't even know. Then automatically Rupa will manifest. Then, we heard a class, somebody spoke about Krishna, some qualities of Krishna, or generally we know so many qualities of Krishna. Suddenly Krishna's qualities come, and then Krishna's beautiful pastimes. Everything will come automatically. Prabhupada said automatically. And somebody asked Prabhupada saying, automatically means what? We don't have to do anything. Of course we need to do. What do we need to do? Chant. Apart from that is the mood in which we spend our day. Right? It's how we live practically. See, this is what is going to feed into this. Why we talk so much about this Trinadapi Sunichena? Just 2 minutes on this and I'll close. Why is there so much emphasis on this Trinadapi Sunichena? Anybody can answer? We've heard this multiple times. See, don't accept anything without understanding. Why? Yes, bro. Bodily conception, okay. False ego. Now, how does it manifest? How do these things manifest? Practical. False ego, association, okay. Okay, let me rephrase my question. What are the thoughts that come to our mind when we are chanting? Huh? No, you are exalted devotee, apart from you. Huh? Planning about the day, money. Dekho, we are in this world. You know, that side is all exalted devotees. Huh? Was Prabhu? Job anxiety, job dissatisfaction, boss ke upar gussa karo. No, all these thoughts that are coming to our mind, why are these thoughts coming? No, please don't give me book answers. I don't want book answers. I want to understand practically. Yes, Prabhu. Okay, I am but if you're the controller, why are you worried, Baba? If you're the controller, why are you to worry? Everything will happen, no? I don't think I'm the controller, huh? Okay, we are absorbed in these things, okay? Because of my attachment to these things. See, it's a very simple thing, right? See, if we are living our day absorbed, attached to these things, naturally that is what is going to be in our mind. Naturally, I mean, how can you remove it? Somebody says, okay, come before you come to chanting, just, can you put some, like vacuum, like remove all these thoughts from my head? Can we do that? It's not practical. Brahmachari is very fortunate. Seriously, it's not a joke. Very fortunate. They don't have to deal with all this useless crap that we are dealing with. We don't need this. Do we need this? We don't need this. Right? But that is a stage of our own maturity, how we are going to make progress, etc. But I'm just saying, see, the answer that we got was dealing with devotees. And here we are talking about, my boss, my work, my money. This is the difference. No, seriously. Isn't it? Now, if you are married, not money, right? My wife didn't give me food yesterday. She was angry with me. This is what we are having to deal with. So anyway, all of you have freedom to decide which side you want to go. You want to continue these thought processes, you are happy to do, you are welcome to do. And you can also go to that most exalted, option is available. We didn't have that option. Before I came into Krishna consciousness, I have already fallen. So this absorption, first stage, the absorption has to change from these material things to devotees, devotional service, these things it has to change. Then absorption will come, right? So the point I'm making is that, we have to, Krishna is saying these, these instructions in Bhagavad Gita, saying that, just do as a matter of duty, don't get attached, I am here, Surada, Sarvabhutana, Gnatva Mam Shantim Richati, no Shanti for us. Then Krishna is saying, Ashantasya Kutas Sukham, right? So Krishna is saying all this in Bhagavad Gita. We are, Krishna, no, I'm not very exalted. We want to take this easy route. No, why? He's saying that I am there, I will take care of you. Why are we worried? Why are we worried? Why are we thinking? No, we think, if I ask this question, have you surrendered to Krishna? What will you say? How many of us have surrendered to Krishna? We say on one end, we have surrendered to Krishna, and then we'll go and stand in front of Krishna and say, Krishna, I have a problem. Okay? By the way, I will also tell you the solution. Just in case you are not intelligent enough, Krishna. Just in case you are not intelligent, I'll tell you the problem. You know the problem, but I have a very specific solution. It works exactly like this for me. Like Krishna doesn't know. This is our level of surrender. Krishna doesn't need us to go and stand in front of him, tell our problems, neither the solutions. Right? Surrender means having full faith. And when we have full faith in Krishna, what did Srivas Thakur say? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu marks. They're saying, go, stop your class. Also, 3 times. Right? That's it.
Right? Remember, just start clapping. When you go crazy about all your material problems, just start clapping. Huh? You just remember saying that this is all that is required. This is the faith that is required. Right? And why Shiva will say Shiva is Narada Muni? Arey Baba, ऐसे तो कुछ भी नहीं सीख सकते. We can't learn anything from anybody, isn't it? We put everybody on an exalted, yes, they are all exalted, but they came here to teach us. Right? So we have to learn. This is surrender, saying that, okay, Krishna, I'm doing my work as a matter of duty. Okay, I have a responsibility. I'm doing work. Right? Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, 8 hours bhakti. In which ashram? Grihastha ashram. Brahmachari ashram? No brahmachari ashram. Anyway, so Grihastha ashram is 8 hours. Right? After that, Vanaprasth. Huh? You don't know about this? Hey, come on. 16 hours, no, it's very simple. What does a Grihastha do which a Vanaprastha doesn't do? Job. How many hours we do job? 16 hours. Oh no. 8 hours. Huh? So in Grihastha ashram, we are supposed to be doing 8 hours bhakti. And then when Grihastha ashram gets over, how many more hours we get? 8 more hours. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this is the recommendation of Bhaktivinoda Thakur for Grihasthas. Our acharyas were not saying kuch bhi karo, time pass ho jayega. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta parshampuram. Anyway, so the point is we are doing our work. Don't get too absorbed. It's okay. It's all in Krishna's control. Krishna will take care of things for us if we have faith in Him. Krishna just wants to see our faith. Krishna can do anything. Right? But do we have faith in Him or not? Is the only Prabhupada right saying that? Which purport? Bhagavad Gita. And bhakti means development of this faith. Bhakti means this faith has to actually increase. Faith has to increase to such an extent that from Komal faith, what is the Komal faith? Of a Kanishtadhikari, right? To the Dhrida faith, firm faith of a Madhyama or a Uttama. Right? So we have to come to that. And if we don't do that, our chanting cannot improve. Why am I talking about this? Because otherwise our chanting will never improve. If our chanting never improves, we're not going to get Krishna Prema. This is a Grihastha experience speaking here. So I'm not looking at brahmacharis. Because this is experience. This is my experience. Right? Till that absorption remained in work and achievement and this and that and all that, it's only those things that come in our chanting. We do our work, we leave the results to Krishna, and we just focus on how do I get 8 hours in my day to do bhakti. This is all that is required. If we do that, we are on this path. Okay? So with that, I'll end here. Shri Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. If anybody has any questions, maybe, otherwise I'm fine. Yes, Prabhu. Tips to do chanting. No, see, there were basically 2 things, right? Which is, I'm just repeating whatever I spoke. One is try to reduce absorption materially, meaning just depend on Krishna. Things will work. Krishna is there. Just have this faith. Krishna is there. He will take care of things. We just do our duty. We do our duty, whatever. We have to go, we have to work, etc. Just first is remove that, take away that anxiety. Just build faith in Krishna. And how do I build faith in Krishna? By associating with devotees who have faith in Krishna. Right? But that building that faith is very, very important. See, if you don't build that faith, no other tips will help. The tips can't be, like I said, I'm just taking my japa bag. What can I do now? Can I press some button? No, it doesn't work that way. Right? It doesn't work that way. So it's the mode of surrender which is very, very important to actually be able to chant nicely. The other most important thing is begging. We should literally cry when we are chanting. We should literally cry. Our cry is not the cry of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? It's not tears of happiness. Our cry is because we are so fallen. We're in such a helpless situation. We're not even able to chant the most powerful mantra that has been given to us. We're not able to chant. We're not able to hear. This should create feeling of pain. This should create pain in our heart. And that repentance has to come out as tears. There's no harm. There's no harm. Of course, don't have to cry in the middle of everybody, and but this feeling, mood has to be there, saying that I'm not able to do. And when we feel this remorse, automatically mercy flows. Automatically. See, this is why I'm saying we don't sleep when we are begging. We're not distracted when we are begging, because we really want what we are begging for. If we really want whatever we are begging for, how can we not pay attention to it? Automatically chanting will improve. I'm not going to go into a lot of, like sitting posture. Yeah, according to me, all that it's fine. If somebody can sit, I can't sit at all. Doesn't mean that my chanting can't be done nicely, right? So it's fine for those devotees who can sit nicely, sit with their back straight, etc., etc. All that is fine. Bonus, right? But the important thing is this begging. If we don't beg, we're not going to make progress. It's a very, very clear thing. That is why Trinadapi. That is why Trina. Who will cry? Who will beg? If I think I am the doer, am I going to beg? Am I going to beg for mercy if I think I have the ability? Either I'm going to get anxious, or I'm going to think I can think anything, I can achieve. Only the person who is in this Trinadapi mode, only he can beg. Otherwise, Amanina Manadina, I will say, that Prabhu told this to me, this happened, that happened. That's not Amanina Manadina. When you do Amanina Manadina, you just say, I'm worthless. Why am I thinking about how somebody dealt with me? Who am I anyway? If we don't come into this mode, every small thing in our life is the most important thing, more important than Hare Krishna. Then we can't chant. We simply have to become a child, Prabhu. Simple. Child and cry. If we become a child and cry, we will make progress. It's very simple. There are no, it's not rocket science. We have to simply cry. Prabhupada said this. Nothing outside what Prabhupada has said. Prabhupada has given all these tips. We don't just take it seriously, or we don't realize the importance of these statements. It's just this. If we just become humble, feel helpless, literally we will beg for mercy, we will cry. If we can do this, we will make progress. Our chanting will be effective. Okay. So question Prabhu is asking is, if I have a problem, job problem or some family problem, if I am begging for mercy, how will that help my material, how will that solve my material problem? Isn't it? That's the question. Why should that material problem be solved? No, I'm just asking. Hindering, okay, it's hindering my attention, focus on Krishna. Okay. So two things I'm going to say. Again, I'm looking at mentors here, because mentors are, because I don't know what level you all been hearing, right? So I'm going to make two statements. One is difficult to digest, the other is easy to digest. Okay. See, first thing is a pure devotee. Who is a pure devotee? Huh? Anyabhilashita shunyam gnana karma dhanavritam. He is a pure devotee. What is his motive in life? Only to please Krishna only, meaning nothing else. Right? Now, a devotee who is in this state of wanting to do devotional service just for the pleasure of Krishna, what is his only concern? Is to serve such that he can please Krishna. Is he worried about his material problems? But Srivas Pandit worried about food. Where is it going to come from? Right? So because we have to enter the college of pure devotion. What is ISKCON? Huh? School of? For what? We've all been crying only now. But that crying is not helping our chanting. No, that's why we are trying to understand what is the real crying. Prabhupada created ISKCON for what? It's an institution of pure devotion. Prabhupada did not. Okay, so I don't know how much time do we have? Bored means I'll stop. That's why I'm asking. There's some few more interesting things I wanted to say. Not interested. No, Okay, there are two types of faith. Who knows? What does that mean, Prabhu? Prabhu, मैं पंडित नहीं हूँ. Please tell me in a way I can understand. Huh? Pure faith and impure faith. Impure faith simply means another easy word. Mishra. Mixed faith. Mixed faith. So there are only two faiths. One is Kevala or Shuddha or Mishra. Right? One is mixed, the other is pure. What is this mixed with? Material desires. See? Brahmachari, sharp answers. Material desires. Right? I can just turn this side and do class. Then I'll get all the answers I want. So material desires. So the person who has Mishra Shraddha, who has a mixed faith, is worried about this material world. Should I repeat? Is everybody awake? Okay, what is Mishra Shraddha? When a devotee is absorbed in Mishra Shraddha, he is disturbed or affected by the material world around him. This is Mishra Shraddha. What does Mishra Shraddha result in? Mishra Bhakti. Mishra Shraddha results in Mishra Bhakti. If our faith is mixed, which means that we don't have full faith in Krishna, our Bhakti will also be mixed, no? Because Adau Shraddha. Where does all this start? With faith. If you have mixed faith, if you don't have full faith in Krishna, our Bhakti will also be Mishra. If our Bhakti is Mishra, then thoughts also will be Mishra. It's a simple process. कोई है मिश्रा यहाँ? कितना बार मिश्रा बुला रहे? Okay, so this is Mishra. Mishra Shraddha, Mishra Bhakti, everything Mishra. So that devotee finds it difficult to leave his thoughts. I was in this stage before, so nothing to worry, okay? But we have to transition from Mishra Shraddha to Shuddha Kevala Shraddha. Pure faith in Krishna. Krishna is there, Krishna will take care. Krishna is reassuring so many times, through so many different ways, through lives of devotees. If you just simply develop this faith results in Shuddha Bhakti. This ISKCON is an institution for pure devotion, not for mixed devotion. Prabhupada did not start ISKCON for mixed devotion. Outside there's so many people. That's why what did Prabhupada say? Aim of life is Krishna Prema, not some material. See, Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita, he writes one purport. He says that as devotional life of a devotee becomes, as one makes progress in devotion, material life will also be taken care. By the way, I want to tell you one more secret. Do you know when all our karma phala gets destroyed? All our karma phala gets destroyed? You've been told some karma phala gets destroyed? When? Technically, initiation, if we take like what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took, we don't take initiation like that. No, I mean, seriously, that is what it is, right? Yes, Prabhu. No nama aparada. Okay, which stage will that happen? Nishtha. Nishtha is the stage when we will actually get rid of all our karma phala. Right? So we should just understand, saying that all these material problems, etc., is just a matter of some time. Krishna knows why it is happening in our life. If you have surrendered to Krishna, Krishna knows. So we will take practical steps. Because I'm a grasta. So if there is no water, I can't be sitting praying, Krishna, send water, send water. I have to call somebody saying that, get a load of water, isn't it? So we have to practically do whatever is required to do that. Right? But doesn't mean that we are anxious about it. Right? So, see, this is Shuddha. This is the stage of Shuddha faith. Faith means, Krishna, I'll just do, whatever is there in my hand, I'll do. I'll leave the rest to you. And when a devotee lives life like this, no anxieties, no thoughts. Why will you think about those all problems? Because you want to find a solution during your chanting. You think the rest of the 22 hours was not sufficient to find a solution. This 2 hours only is going to be most effective. I'm going to find my solution in these 2 hours. No. So if we have Kevala Bhakti, Kevala Shraddha, we will simply depend on Krishna and we will simply focus on, okay, what I have been told that during these 2 hours I have to keep all other useless thoughts away. So I'm going to simply focus on trying to chant and beg. So if we start begging, we will stop begging for these material things. Because that material things anyway will be taken care. We don't have to worry. Material things will get taken care. Krishna knows what is the best way of taking care of our material problems. So we don't have to worry about it. It's a practical thing. I'm speaking by experience. Krishna takes care of things, right? All we have to do is have faith in Krishna, simply follow the process, surrender to Guru, surrender to Vaishnavas, and we will achieve success. Okay? So I'll stop here. If anybody wants to discuss anything, we can do after the class. Otherwise, I'm overshot my 2 hours. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your patient, awake hearing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And Prabhu, 1 second. And if in case I spoke something beyond consumption, please forgive me. The idea was just to show us that there is something much, much beyond we should hanker for, we should, have in our mind, because otherwise we'll be stuck with, small little happiness or, distraction of this material world. When we look at this exalted, like Himalaya kind of, stuff in front of us, then, we can focus on that, saying that, I want to achieve that. That was the only intention why I wanted to discuss this, right? There's no intention, no other intention to either discourage you or anything, right? So just if in case my words have offended or hurt somebody, I'm again apologizing. Please forgive, otherwise I won't make progress. That's why. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we thank Narayana Padmanabh. So Prabhuji is living a very exemplary Grahastha life. So in order to serve, Prabhuji gave his job long back and gave all his donations to run the center. And now Prabhuji is taking care of 3-4 centers. JP Nagar, Holi Mavu, Vijay Nagar. So we want to see how very strict Grahastha life, to live for the mission of Srila Prabhupada. So you can see the example of Narayana Padmanabh. So we are thankful. And let's thank him by one time chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare